historian Jon Meacham did a piece today. I think that I don't know how many people really looked at it for what he actually said, but it all has to do with make America great. Make America great for whom? And who is it that has the ability to do as evil things as they want to do as wrong, as criminal as they want to do, and still is taken serious as a human being. I want you to listen to Meacham, and then we'll take it on the other side, because what he has to say here is prescient.
But John, a growing number of Americans don't want it to work. You recently posted something about the word unprecedented, and I hate that word. I used to ban it on the show. If people use it, I'd make them pay me $2 because for 4 years, we'd gasp on TV and say, it's unprecedented. But the thing is, people want to break those norms. The former president laughed at it. He loved it. And so this idea that what's happening is unprecedented, people don't care. They actually like it.
They may like it, but the precedents we have to pay attention to is a rule of law, a love of neighbor, and a mutual respect. Otherwise, it's not going to matter, because then we're going to descend into a state of total warfare all the time. I'm not arguing for some sentimental past. I don't think there's, when people talk about restoring certain things, hell, it wasn't all that great then, right? I mean, I'm a boringly heterosexual white Southern male Episcopalian. Things work out for me in this country. But for a lot of people, it doesn't. The story of the country is a journey toward a more perfect union, not a perfect one. And so what we have to remind ourselves, and this is hugely important, and it makes what you do so important, and is in the lived experience of a lot of people, America doesn't really work. Right? It starts with September 11th. There's the bad intelligence with Iraq. There's the financial crisis. There's COVID. There's Donald Trump as this huge force. I teach students at Vanderbilt who were born after the attacks of September 11th. So imagine where your political consciousness was shaped. And where their political consciousness was shaped is Donald Trump. And so therefore, let me just say this, it puts it a huge weight, a huge burden, I think, to tell a story that the rule of law, that having a constitution that can be perfected is central. Otherwise, and maybe you disagree, but here's the question. What comes next? If you tear this up, what comes next? And if you can't answer that,
I'm reminded of Steve Bannon, who wanted to tear the system down. And in terms of a perfect union, you've got all sorts of Americans that do not want us to be a union. And I leave you with the reminder that the whole premise of Make America Great Again, well, there's millions of Americans who want to do that. For millions of others Americans, it wasn't great. It wasn't great before 2022 or 2021 for lots of us.
Now, what Jon Meacham said in this piece is prescient. As you all know, those of you who watch me daily, I just got back from a conference, the social, we called it I think it was called the Social Convergence Panel. We're all of us from all different angles, from all different strides of life come together, and we talk and we discuss how we need to change the system so that everybody equitably gets a part of the pie, if you will. But it's not only that, but how we have create a true democracy. And what we had, and we noticed, or I noticed, was that the people on the mostly conservative side, they all wanted to continuously use the phrase, what were the founding fathers thinking? And it always brought me back to Make America Great Again. All these sort of cues that those who were always of the preferenced class would use. And I mean, so during the conference, as I'm listening to everybody talk, and I mean, we had a group of smart people, smart conservatives, smart liberals, smart progressives, smart anarchists. We had smart people there speaking, right? But then I finally had to say, because it was getting to me when, we pointed out that there were about 30% of America that would not even entertain coming and talking in this group, even though we had conservatives, etc. And then I said, first of all, I do engage everybody. Even those that wouldn't have gone there, I would have gone to them, right? I will engage them. But one of the parts that I really refuse myself internally to do is to go under the assumption that everything we built has to ask the question, what were the founders thinking? Because as far as I'm concerned, the founders weren't thinking about women. The founders weren't thinking about people who didn't own land. The founders weren't thinking about the natives, the originators of this place. The founders weren't thinking about me. Hell, I was actually singled out as 3/5 of a person. I know some are going to back up and say, oh, it was a compromise. It's not that they're calling you it was Yes, it was a compromise that compromised me to 3/5 of a person. So when we are asked to build a true democracy, and then we are saying, let's do it in the context of what were the founders thinking, I finally looked at them and I said, I don't give a damn what the founders were thinking. I care about humanity. I care about what all of us are thinking about to make a better union. So what I found in the honesty of Jon Meacham is realizing that we've always had a one-sided system and a very small side in this country. And as much as people could prosper, the exceptions could prosper, or you could get by, you were never to attain that bastion of power even if you had the wherewithal to work for it. And in listening to Jon again, it was great to see a thinker that didn't let himself be fooled by who he was or fooled by the myth that we want to have MAGA, make America great again. Because as he said, for some, America was never great, and they're trying to make it great. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.